She had goat legs. And the reason will shock you. She woke up screaming in the middle of the night. The pain was unbearable. The moment she looked down, her heart stopped. Her legs, they were no longer her own. They were hairy, bent, and ended in hooves, the legs of a goat. But how could this happen? She had never done anything so terrible. Had she? The truth, however, would shock everyone, because it all began with a single moment of greed, and a mysterious mission that no one in her village knew existed. In a quiet village nestled far away from the bustling towns, there lived a blind beggar named Arur. He sat every day beside the narrow path that led to the village stream, holding a small bowl in front of him. The villagers were kind, giving him food, coins, and whatever little they could spare. They called him the village beggar, Arur, but no one knew his origin. Some wondered if he was even human, for his presence seemed almost magical. He never spoke much. He smiled gently whenever someone dropped a coin into his bowl. And though he appeared weak and poor, there was a strange aura about him, a presence that made people respect him without fully understanding why. One evening, a young girl named Somto was returning home from the stream with her water bucket when she saw Arur sleeping near the bushes. Beside him lay his bowl, glimmering with coins left by generous villagers. A thought, almost like a whisper, crept into her mind: take it. No one will see. The temptation was too strong. She tiptoed quietly, snatched the bowl, and turned to run. But at that exact moment, something extraordinary happened. Arur, the blind beggar, vanished right before her eyes. Her heart raced. She froze in terror. She had never seen anything like it. She dropped the coins in shock and ran home as if something unseen was chasing her. That night, her legs began to itch uncontrollably. She rubbed them, applied ointment, but the itching grew worse and worse. Hours later, when she finally fell asleep, she woke to a nightmare she could not have imagined. Her legs had transformed completely. They were now the legs of a goat, hooved, bent, covered in hair. Her scream echoed through the house, waking her father, Motivational, who rushed in only to find his daughter in a horrifying state. How did this happen, Somto? He asked, panic-stricken. Terrified, Somto spun a story one far from the truth. She told her father that Arur had begged her for money, and when she refused, he cursed her before disappearing. Her father, desperate to save her, immediately set out to find Arur, hoping to confront him and reverse the curse. But Arur was gone. Motivational brought her to every healer in the village. Herbs, rituals, and magical incantations were tried. Nothing worked. Days turned into weeks. Somto could barely walk. The pain in her legs was constant and unbearable. Villagers began to whisper, and soon people from other villages came to see the girl with goat legs. Some gossiped, some pointed, some whispered prayers. Fear and pity filled the air. Eventually, Motivational visited the village seer, a woman known for her wisdom and magical insight. After hearing the story, she shook her head gravely. Your daughter is under a powerful curse, the seer said. Arur is no ordinary beggar. He came to this village on a mission. You angered him, and now your daughter is being punished. If she does not discover his mission and complete it, her transformation will become permanent. Masachikwuka was stunned. For the first time, he realized that Somto had lied about the theft, and more importantly, that the girl's actions had consequences far beyond what he could have imagined. Faced with this terrifying revelation, Somto finally confessed to her father. She admitted that she had stolen from Arur, that she had been greedy, and that he had disappeared in front of her. Though angry, her father knew that punishment alone would not save her. The girl had to understand the true meaning of her actions and fulfill the mysterious mission if she wished to be free. Somto returned to the spot where Arur had always sat. She watched villagers pass by, some laughing, some pointing at her goat legs, some shaking their heads in pity. The humiliation was unbearable. Yet, she understood that this was the only way to earn her freedom. She sat for hours, day after day, in rain and sun, learning patience, humility, and endurance. And slowly, the first signs of change in her character began to emerge. One rainy afternoon, seeking shelter near the stream, Somto entered a small, seemingly abandoned hut. Inside, she discovered an elderly woman, frail and sick. Without hesitation, Somto tended to her, cleaned the hut, prepared a warm meal, and cared for her through the storm. The woman was grateful, tears streaming down her face, and blessed Somto for her kindness. For the first time since the curse, Somto felt a spark of hope and purpose. The next day, as she returned to her usual spot, she saw a young boy crying near the stream. His sorrow was unbearable. When Somto asked what was wrong, the boy recounted his tragic story. His father had died, his stepmother was cruel and abusive, and his real mother had abandoned him. He was starved, beaten, and living in despair. Somto's heart ached. She gave him food, comforted him, and promised to help him. Before leaving, the boy handed her a bracelet, a small, simple bracelet his mother had given him at birth. Somto took it, sensing it was important but not yet understanding why. That evening, her father brought a powerful priestess to their home. She claimed she could reverse the curse, but only if the key to the boy's past was revealed. Somto stretched out her hand, holding the bracelet. The priestess's eyes widened in shock. "Where did you get this?" she asked. Somto explained, and the priestess's expression changed from surprise to tears. The boy, she revealed, was her own son. Years ago, her family had forced him away so that she would accept her priestess duties. They had hidden him with powerful spells that even she could not break. Until now, the bracelet was the only clue to his location. Somto immediately led the priestess to the boy's hut. Inside, they saw the stepmother beating him mercilessly. The priestess, her voice filled with righteous anger, uttered words of power. The wicked woman was instantly transformed into a goat. At that same moment, Somto felt her legs tingle. Slowly, the hair disappeared, the hooves receded, and her human legs were restored. The curse had finally been lifted. The boy ran into his mother's arms, and she held him for the first time in years, tears of joy streaming down her face. Only then did the truth become clear. Arur, the blind beggar, had not been a simple man. He had been the spirit of the boy's father, watching over his son, waiting for someone pure-hearted and brave enough to help. By rescuing the boy and reuniting him with his mother, Somto had completed RR's mission and earned her freedom. Somto returned home a changed person. No longer greedy, selfish, or deceitful, she had learned the value of kindness, honesty, and responsibility. She had witnessed firsthand how a single action could have far-reaching consequences, and how courage and compassion could overcome even the darkest magic. From that day on, she became a better version of herself, never forgetting the lesson she had learned: every action has consequences, every lie carries weight, and kindness can transform even the direst situation. And so, in a quiet village near the stream, the story of the girl with goat legs spread like wildfire. It became a tale told to children for generations, a story warning of greed, deception, and the power of compassion. Somto's transformation was no longer just physical, it was the beginning of a life shaped by integrity, courage, and the understanding that even the smallest actions could carry immense power. She had goat legs, and the reason will shock you. But through courage, kindness, and honesty, she regained her human legs and her life forever changed.